Right. Hey guys. My name is Mr. Piri, the motivator. I just came across this video this morning, and I always try as much as possible all the time to stay away from controversial stuff like this. But I feel compelled to add my voice onto this topic. I saw a video from some guys. I think probably is Nigerian or Ghanaian. I'm not sure. Who was apparently he came to Zambia last year in December, and so when he arrived, he saw a number of posters which were depicting some Chinese businesses, and they were obviously advertising their businesses in their Chinese language. So to him and some other folks from in the diaspora, that means that Zambia has already been colonized or is in fact under the rule or control of China. Now, yes, I admit in the first place, before I go any further, then the last few weeks we've heard stories of, for example, there was some discrimination or issues with one of the restaurants, which actually was closed because they discriminated the locals to the Chinese. There was a restaurant in China it's a Chinese restaurant, and some black couple went there. And then the guy was actually refused service because he was black, apparently. And then the mayor recently closed down a barber shop at the Cates because it was also discriminating against blacks. It was a Chinese barber shop, Angel's barber shop, I think. So the reason why I want to add my voice into this is because now, first of all, yes, it's true that we have a lot of Chinese guys here and they're doing a lot of big projects. Others are building the airport, roads, and many others. And Topstar is also partly owned by the Chinese guys. But that does not mean that we've already been colonized. Matter of fact, that's a bad propaganda, which I think is a wrong thing to do, especially if you don't live in Zambia. It's wrong to make an assumption that just because Chinese guys are putting up posters, then we've already been taken over. In fact, some people have actually gone ahead and made a reference that if Zambians were to set up a business in China, they wouldn't put up a poster. First of all, you gotta understand marketing. If a Chinese guy puts up a shop or he puts up a restaurant and they're putting up a poster, you don't expect them to put them in English because, first of all, those guys don't even speak English in their countries. Yes, it's true that they're in a foreign land, but hey, their target market is Chinese guys, their fellow Chinese brothers and sisters who live in Zambia. Go to one of these Chinese supermarkets that we have around. They don't even put their posters in Chinese. You know why? For example, Golden Oaklet, they don't put their posters in Chinese because their target market is Zambians. They put their posters in Nyanja or in English so that they can target their target market. But if they put their poster in the Chinese because they're targeting that particular market, even all these corporate companies in Zambia, they do that. They put a poster in Nyanja, not because they're assuming everybody in Zambia speaks Nyanja. No, it's because they're targeting a specific market that speaks that language and understands it perfectly. So that notion to say they've taken over the language because they're putting up posters, that's total nonsense. It's really disappointing. Yes, it's true they have some influence, but hey, what do you expect? They have investments here. But at the end of the day, this is a sovereign country. We have got rules that protect us. China cannot just come here and take over. Yes, it's true, we own them. We owe them a lot of money, but we still have our country to do that. So, by the way, America owes China a lot of money. Almost every country in the world owes China a lot of money. So, that nonsense, please, can you just stop it? I wish you could, because it's not true. It's not entirely true. Yes, there are a lot of Chinese. What do you expect them to do? They're trying to get out of their countries, come into the Zambia. By the way, we also have a lot of Indians in Zambia who've been with us for a long time. Some of them even speak better Nyanja than some of us Zambians. We don't complain about them. You know why? Because their businesses, they're targeting our Zambia. They do the same thing. That's what the tourism sector does. That's what every foreign country does when they come to Zambia. They take advantage of the resources that are here, including its people. So that whole nonsense comes from quite frankly, an ignorant or sort of illiterate point of view to assume that Zambia has been taken over just because there are a lot of posters going around. Can we stop that? It's not fair. I'm not being political. I don't do politics. I don't even like talking about politics in my life. But that's a fact which I think people need to get clear. Now, there's another point which I would like to make very clear as well. Is that, you see, we know that because there's a sort of Western agenda with regards to China's influence in Africa. I'm not pro-China. But there's a notion, again, by the West that they have to discourage or paint black the Chinese investment in Africa so that we can continue looking at the Western investment as better off than that of China. We know that. And that's why you see a lot of people, a lot of media houses, especially the West, trying to paint everything back. But I ask you right now to show me images of how Africa was before China investments came in. And so far, can you also prove to me what are some of the greatest advantages of we've seen from the China investments in Africa compared with the Western investments or policies, for that matter? We know we got the West deals of the Western investment. So don't sit here in your own country and make it look like Zambia is already being run by Chinese, because that's not true. It's not entirely true. Some sections of it might be true, but hey, what do you expect? They're just people as well. So can we stop this? It's not fair. It's an illiterate point of view, and I wish we could just quit. We gotta stop this, guys. It's not fair. It's not fair because it make us citizens feel like you're making us look like we're not in charge of our own country. Yeah, what do you expect us to start chasing them away? When they do something wrong, they're always taken care of. Like just recently, the mayor closed down the shops. There's 3 billion people in one country. You don't expect all of them to be okay. They have also bad apples amongst them, just like we here in Africa have a lot of corrupt leaders, corrupt people, thieves everywhere. So yes, there is section of it, but obviously when they're advertising in their languages, it's because they're targeting their fellow Chinese colleagues. It's not because they're targeting me. I'm not going to go to a place where they're writing their language when I don't even understand. I go to places where I understand, and those guys know that. They don't want me there. I don't go there. It's not good to discriminate, but it's not good as well to paint black a country, because when you say Zambia is being run by Chinese, it simply, or is being colonized by Chinese, it simply means that we, the citizens, don't even want this country on our own. So it's not fair. Can we quit that? Please, can we stop that unnecessary propaganda? You are making us look weak, especially yourselves, because it just proves to some of us that you are really ignorant about such matters, and I will ask you to research further.